And you unraveled that mystery for us and unlocked her doors to learning again. And suddenly there she is. She was standing, you know. She was getting along very well, you know. In kindergarten, even in kindergarten, we knew something was up. Her kindergarten teacher said to us, you're going to want to spend some time with her this summer, reading with her. It's just something just wasn't quite right. And first grade and second grade and the crying fits with reading and everybody, because she's so bright, you know, she'll figure it out. And I just kept thinking we would. Her spelling will evolve. Oh, that poor thing. And she had so many coping strategies, and her freshman year it just fell apart. She had nothing. She could not keep her head above water anymore. And that's when we knew something was wrong, but we didn't know what to do. We just did not know. And we had all this testing done, but all it was scores. They were just test scores, and they were just presented to us as such. Well, you know, she's a really smart girl, but yeah, she's just, reading is pretty weak, and spelling's kind of weak, and math is kind of weak, and she's really smart here and does this really well, and that was it. And it was just a bunch of numbers that was really meaningless to us until you came into our lives and picked us up and said, dusted us off and said, oh, come on, don't give up. Because I'll tell you, when you're in that place with a child who is hurting so much at school, all you want to do is get it over with for them. You know, you just want to, how many days of school left is there in this year? How many years left of this institutional thing that we have to get her through? And you just want to get her through. And that's not it. I mean, that's what you said to us, right? You just said, she can still learn. She can still thrive. Don't give up. Because I knew something about dyslexia, because of I had been trained as a reading teacher, and we had talked about it quite a bit with a professor who was pretty passionate about it. I guess it was always kind of lurking in the back of my mind, and when Emma was maybe in fourth grade, I gave her like an informal assessment for dyslexia, and she passed it. So that was completely not even in the game, and I didn't even pursue it. And, you know, that's part of what you do. You don't want it, so you make sure it won't work, and that's, I guess, what I did. I don't know. I just didn't pursue it. And there really wasn't anybody helping me in the schools either. If I had said the word dyslexia, I don't think anybody would have said, yeah, gee, bring her in. Let's test her. That wasn't there. So it was just me and this child, and just tried to figure it out. So she was literally falling apart. So it's March of her freshman year. Her grades are tanking. I can't hardly get her to school. I don't know what to do. And her therapist said, maybe we should just get some academic testing for her. Her anxiety in tests at school always seemed to skew the results, and we just never really knew what we were working with, except she's a smart girl and she can do it, and that was about it. So we had all these tests done, and I got all these test scores back, and they revealed that there was a problem, but we had no idea what that problem was, and we were just sent out the door saying, there are your test scores. And I looked at them, and I sleepless nights thought about them, and finally I thought I have to talk to somebody that might know something about this. And this dyslexia thing kept coming back to me because her spelling score was so weak, and that's the only thing that made me think that. Now I know dyslexia is much bigger than that, but at that time that's what it was. And I literally Googled dyslexia, Madison, Wisconsin, and a couple places popped up, and yours popped up, and it was your website. And the fact that it wasn't just dyslexia, it was all learning disabilities. And you answered the phone. And you said that you would test in this place. That was the other thing. The other places said you needed to go there with dyslexia And I was going there with a child. I needed a place to go with my child to get help. And so you answered, you were so welcoming. It felt right immediately. I can tell you the week before we started Wild, because when I signed those papers, I thought, what are we doing? How on earth can we fit this into our family schedule and get here twice a week and drag this daughter of mine who hates school to more school twice a week? Because she was not excited about it. She met you, Irv, fell in love. Of course, like that was a no-brainer. But I didn't think I'd get her here, and I thought this was ridiculous. And she never fought me once. The whole year it was, we're going to Wild, and in the car she went, and it became a very easy part, a natural part of our family schedule. Now it's built in every Monday, Wednesday. That's what we do, and as easy as soccer practice, really. You just put it in, you just make it work. And if it's the right thing to do for you, you do it. But the first 7 weeks were a relief. It was just a relief for our family. I know that, you want to be able to walk in and everything's going to be right away. Like one lesson later, she can spell and she can read. And it wasn't that. It was and it says it on your website that in 7 weeks you're going to see a change. And I thought, there's not enough time. And in 7 weeks, we started in late September, and I think it was early December where she had it was not an easy 7 weeks in her personal life or academically at school. I mean, it was a tough transition. But she was stronger than I've ever seen her, and she just came out by early December, she really was a changed child. She had a confidence in her. She was ready to start really trying in school again. And I mean, really, that's all you want. You want your child to not hate school and want to learn, and that's what we were seeing after just 7 weeks. It was amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is. It really is. It was a mystery, absolutely. A puzzle. Where's the puzzle piece? What's the puzzle piece that we're missing? Is it speech and language? Nope, it's not speech and language. Is it anxiety? Well, it is anxiety, but it wasn't going away. It was still really, really high, intense anxiety. Is it, is it this? Is it that? We just kept searching. Oh, it's ADD. Oh, that's what it is. It's ADD. She can't focus in school. Or is it anxiety? Or is it this? It was just a constant guessing game of plucking around the symptoms and not really figuring out what is the real, or at least one of the major causes of what is challenging her so much when she's sitting in a desk at school. No training in Orton Gillingham.
No.
Again, the only reason I even knew anything about was dyslexia is because I went to UW Oshkosh, and I knew they had a dyslexia program there. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew that it existed and that it was one of the only ones in the United States, and so that made me feel quite proud to be part of an organization that did something like that, and that's all I knew. In some aspects, very prepared, obviously. I feel like I've been teaching for 25 years. How many kids have I missed? I get it now. I see, I see signs that I didn't know were the signs. And I didn't know that there was something that could be done to help some of these kids. I mean, I helped in every way I could, but I didn't know how, and I still don't quite know how, to be honest. But I know that there's something there, and I'm really, as you know, trying to figure out what am I going to do to change what we're doing in this institution to help this 20% of our kids that I can identify pretty easily at this point, because I'll tell you, it is a wily thing, and there isn't just one, as you know, there isn't just one criteria that you have to meet to be dyslexic. There's a lot of different pieces, and once you kind of have a sense of what those pieces are, it is, I think, after that, kind of easy to see. And so I have a new batch of kids this semester, in fact, and I've already picked out about 3 or 4 kids that I know I need to talk to their parents. I need to sit down. I've saw their test scores. I see the work they're handing in to me. And I know there is something there. There's something that these kids need. It may not be dyslexia, but it's something that they need more. I've told them not to give up. Like, there are two paths you can take when your child is struggling. And I really think, the one path, which seems like the easiest path, is to ride it out and get it over with and support your kid and accommodate your kid to get to the point where they're done. And when they're done, then we'll worry about the rest of their life after that. And the other pathway is to do the thing you think you can't do, which is, face this beast. It appears to be this beast, this thing that's really scary, and just, look it in the eye and say, this is not right, and I need some help figuring this out. And then to, reach for the phone and call, because there are people there that are waiting to say, of course, bring me your child. I want to help and can. And that's the difference, right? I can do something. Yeah. That there is a light at the end of the tunnel, that your child can learn, and not to give up on that. And there are different ways to learn too. And I think as parents, we want our children to have this easy step from A to B, and to do it the way we do it and the way everybody else seems to be doing it. And why can't you? And that, I remember Emma saying, I don't go from A to B, but my route is really interesting. Like, I get there, I just go my own way, and it's an interesting path. And to not be frustrated by that, and to let your child learn the way they learn, sort of, I don't know, embrace it or celebrate that too, if you can find ways to do it. It is hard. I mean, dyslexia is hard.